Hey, what is up, everybody? Xenon Great here. Today we're going to talk about this boy, Kigiri. So he's the new talk of the town, the new popular guy in the streets. Let's just say you get him A5 and your GB2 team is going to go ham. Let's just get started. Let's jump right into it. He's a fighter, of course, so he gets placed on the floor. Single attack range, but his ultimate, as you'll see later, expands. It's very big. It's just as big as Vortex's reach. But anyways, base stats, high HP, pretty decent, 26,000. I believe that's getting close to, say, like Abomination and whatnot. But also, his attack is very high, his base attack. That's very close to Mr. Salazar. I do believe so. Yeah. So far, stats alone, fantastic unit. Um, his attack interval, I believe, could be faster. It's 2.6 seconds. Shows different here because of the gear on him. But anyways, let's talk his skills. So his basic attack is just basic. It's pretty impressive. Anyways, flow state. Parrying during tranquil reflection increases attack by 30% for 10 seconds. And keep in mind, these are also increased by my current levels. So it's not this by default. You max out his skill, it'll be that. And what's tranquil reflection, you ask? That is his ultimate skill. And so he basically sheathes his blade and then gets ready to strike. After 8 seconds, he'll do this sweeping strike where he dashes forward and does AoE damage. Pretty big AoE damage too. So he'll do 180% AoE damage one time to up to 6 enemies, then deals 480% damage one time to one of the enemies. And so most of them take 180, but then the last guy takes, or whoever he targets, which most of the time will be the guild boss or whoever you put him up against, because there's only one enemy, will take 600 and what is that? 660% damage. Pretty big. But then, as you saw in that last skill, if he parries, not only will he get that damage bonus, another 30% damage, but also he launches an extra strike. So when he receives direct damage, he'll parry the damage, so he won't take the damage, and then he launches this sweeping strike. So it's not an extra one, actually. It's just saying that the strike overall is extra, but it's going to be the same strike as before. Now, if parry is triggered within 3 seconds of entering the sheath state, so if an enemy is about to hit you and you trigger it, it'll launch this Ember Strike. So it's great for, whichever boss, Semra, whoever, when he uses his axe skill, and he's about to hit you, you trigger you trigger the ultimate of Kigiri, and he will parry the attack. So he gets that 30% increase. He does 200% AoE damage, and then he does another 400% damage 2 times to one of the enemies. Now, if you do all the math, so he gets that 30% attack increase. He does 1,000 total damage here to whomever his target is. Now, it's kind of like what Razak. He has 1,000 AoE damage, 1,000%, but Kigiri will take no damage when he parries, which is immense, especially when it comes to bosses. You could build him kind of glass-like almost, but at the same time he has decent HP, so you may as well throw some HP on him. So now when either of these strikes from the ultimate end, as it says here, there's a 25% chance to immediately launch an identical strike in the opposite direction. So, and of course, it can't just keep doing this every 25% chance. So instead of launching, say, just forward, he also will do it backwards. Now, I think it's actually possible in some of these bosses to face him to the left or to the right. And so the boss is perpendicular to him, which will mean he'll attack to the left and then attack to the right. And both times he will hit the boss. And that's why I think he could be an immense damage dealer and why people have pulled 500 million plus damage out of him, especially at high awakenings. So his talent, so this sweeping strike can launch that attack at the farthest enemy within the ultimate's range every 40 seconds. So you'll notice every now and then he will just randomly attack a guy far away, and that's his talent triggering. So each time basic attack deals damage, it reduces the cooldown of sweeping strike by 1 second. The AoE damage of sweeping strike and ember strike inflict bleed, which is big, especially for, a boss. The additional damage ignores 50% defense and dispels 1 buff. Who else dispels? Lucius, and Lucius is used in Samura to dispel whichever defense buffs and whatnot. And then this guy Kigiri, he's going to ignore 50% of the defense and dispel those buffs. So he's kind of supporting your team. He's kind of dealing all the damage for your team. He's kind of ridiculous. So if you haven't pulled for him, definitely do so. Let's talk his awakenings. Awakening 1. So this is really nice. It gives him sustain. It makes him attack or uses ultimate more. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was a very loud Windows sound. Sorry about that. This will restore his rage, so he gets that ultimate off faster. What is going on? Why? Can you stop doing that? And then also he gets 3% HP. And so that's every time he uses his basic attack. So you get that attack interval up, and then he's just going to keep using his ultimate and basically heal himself over time. Of course, Awakening 2 is classic. Extra 300 attack, which we'll always take. It adds it to the base attack. So Awakening 3, enhanced. So this ultimate gets enhanced here. And within 10 seconds after Sweeping Strike is activated, so after he launches his attack, each direct damage dealt inflicts additional damage 1 time equal to 35% of the direct damage. Which might sound confusing, but this is the direct damage. And so 35% of whatever this is, it's just basically more damage overall. Within 10 seconds after Ember Strike is activated, each direct damage dealt inflicts additional damage 2 times. Which, that's 100%. So direct damage dealt inflicts additional damage 2 times. So I do believe that means that since this damages twice, each of those will do 2 times, which means each of those is in there 100%, which means overall you get basically double because it's 100 times 4 additional attacks on top of this one. So another 400% attack. Wow, that's ridiculous. Awakening 4, 10 plus 8%, always good, especially against high defense guys like Semra. Awakening 5, enhanced, so this is his passive. When this strike happens, there's a 25% chance to immediately launch an identical strike. We know that one. Now what happens here? Launched during Tranquil Reflection will always trigger a swallow counter. So this 25% chance is completely removed. It basically gives him another full ultimate to use, which is kind of ridiculous. I kind of want to pull for A5 now. Sounds crazy, but max. So this ultimate skill gets another bonus down here. So Sweeping Strike and Ember Strike launched during Tranquil Reflection will always trigger Swallow counter. So they basically put the same thing on both of them, just so there's no confusion. Yeah, guys. So overall, I'd say Kigiri's kind of ridiculous. He's an absolute monster when it comes to doing any type of damage to bosses. I wouldn't be surprised if we looked at some of these leaderboards and saw him up there. Let's see if we can have anyone that's on here with him. Kigiri. Maybe Samra? I might be blind. Looks like no one's using him in Dragon, at least. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe people... Oh, see, there's one already. A Kigiri right there doing 284 million. And that is without A5. And it's I mean, it's geared, but I wouldn't say it's, top of the line gear, which is kind of insane. There's another Kigiri, 327 mil. Oh, that's definitely not geared. Anyways, guys, I'm going to post a video about my stats with him, what I think you should build him with. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down below in the comments if it was informative or helped you in any type of way. Just leave a like. If you have criticism, let me know as well. You got to learn as you go on. Thanks, guys. Good to be back, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.